Hey everybody, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everyone. We recently did a video about some awesome buddies for your Betta. I will put that in the description below if you want to check it out. But today we've got something different going on.
Yeah, we have the opposite. We have bad Betta buddies.
Bad buddies for your Betta, bad
Don't do
ideas. Sometimes it's really great to see options. Oh, well, I can keep these with my Betta, that's great. And you're thinking, well, what about these fish? The fish that we've chosen are sometimes, I would say they're commonly, we get a lot of questions about, can I keep certain fish with our Bettas? And these are fish we're asked about a lot that really, in our experience, haven't been good combinations. So what do we have? Give us some examples.
Well, first category I think we should start off with is, are these fish capable of being eaten by your beloved Betta?
Absolutely.
So first pick absolutely has to be the shrimp.
We get that question a lot. Now, some of you right away are like, I've been doing that for 100,000 years and it's worked fine and these people are crazy. Some people have kept shrimp, Neocaridina with Bettas, and it's worked out okay. What I will tell you is that what we have experienced is sometimes if you give the shrimp a lot of hiding spots, maybe it's a very, very heavily planted tank, maybe there's a ton of Java moss in your tank, and the adult shrimp have a place to go, yeah, most likely they're going to survive. But Bettas love to eat shrimplets. That is a fantastic food for them, and they will go hunting for them. So if you plan to keep a tank with shrimp and Bettas, and it is not extraordinarily heavily planted with lots of places for the shrimp to hide, most likely you're going to see your shrimplets go missing and even occasionally some adults, especially the males that tend to be a little bit smaller. So you're taking a chance. If you try to keep shrimp with Bettas, just know that there's a good chance you might just be giving them expensive fish food. What else is too small, would you say?
Definitely the Mirror Rasbora, very tiny.
So smaller Rasboras. Rasboras are great fish. They're great community fish. They're awesome for nano tanks, and a lot of people are looking for fish options to keep with their Betta because their Betta's in a smaller tank. And so they're thinking, okay, what about these really small Rasboras? They're so tiny. Certainly they can go in a 5.5 or maybe even like a 7.5, like some of the tanks we have, or like these right here, these 8.3 gallons. Yeah, they can go in those size tanks because they're so small. So we're thinking like, okay, so exclamation point Rasbora would be one.
Right.
The Mirror Rasbora would be another.
Chili Rasboras.
Chili Rasboras. What else?
Celestial Pearl Danios.
And to be fair, some of the Celestial Pearl Danios, like the females, they tend to get, the males get a little bit larger. But yeah, you're really pushing. If they're not full grown, a Betta could make a snack out of them. So just be careful with those. So those fish are great and they're not overly fin nippy, but they're probably going to be too small, just like the shrimp, and you might see them go missing. So those were fish that may not be the best because they're too small. What's the next category?
Next category is maybe fish that are a little bit too active.
That is another thing to consider. Sometimes people keep very active fish with very mellow fish, and the very mellow fish wind up getting stressed out a little bit. I know you've had one combination in particular with a Betta that you had to change because it just wasn't flowing correctly.
Endlers.
Endlers in and of themselves, I don't think the fish really interacted all that much with one another. The problem was the Endlers were absolutely insane, and they were eating the food a lot faster than the Bettas, right?
Yes.
And they were just swimming around, and you could tell the Betta was getting stressed out. It would chase them around a little bit because I don't think it liked all the action.
No.
And then it would hide over to the side. The combination just clearly wasn't working. Another one to consider, rainbow fish.
Yeah.
Rainbow fish are constantly on the move. I'm talking about rainbow fish. Obviously, this is going to be a larger tank where maybe you put your Betta in a 4-foot tank, or maybe like the dwarf rainbows in a 29. But those fish are extremely active, and generally it's not a good fit because they're going to eat all the food. The Betta's not going to get anything. It's going to stress them out. You also did another combination way long time ago, I think.
Way back in the day. I tried Danios.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I actually let you do that.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I think there might have been like glow Danios or something, and it was just one of those things where it was kind of a temporary thing. It was going to be temporary, and it wound up having to be temporary. So Danios have two issues. One, they're active.
Yeah, very.
And two, Danios can be snippy. They can be a little nippy, and when you've got a long fin Betta, sometimes that combination doesn't work out very well, and that brings us to the next category.
Nippy.
And that's fish that are going to potentially fin up your betta. And some of these are going to be a little surprising, I think.
Well, yeah, and so, it's kind of funny, all the ones that we have experience with making them bad betta buddies is that we put them together, maybe, and we just know they don't really get along too well. And the one I'm thinking of is gouramis, even the smaller ones, even the honey gouramis.
Yeah, we knew not to put the larger ones in, and this is what I always talk about, is have a backup plan for your fish. It's very easy for us to have a backup plan. Please understand we have 80 fish tanks between the ones behind us and all the ones in our fish room. So when something doesn't work, it's extremely easy to move things around and make sure that we have a situation that does work. If you only have one tank, that backup plan is a lot less convenient. That means taking fish back to the store, which is why we're doing this video, so hopefully you don't have to do that. Yeah, the honey gourami did not work. What wound up happening is the betta decided it was the boss of the tank, and it would chase the honey gourami around, and then the honey gourami one day decided, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not allowing this fish to chase me around. One, it's slow, and two, I think I can take it. And the next thing you know, the honey gourami was chasing the betta around. They had to be separated. No damage was done, but it was a combo that didn't work. Be very, very careful with gouramis and bettas. In our experience, not a good combo. What else?
Well, like Mollies and Swordtails, both of those.
These are ones, to be clear, we didn't try these combos,
No.
but it just kind of leads into that discussion where a lot of people ask us about certain combinations. And Mollies and Swordtails, especially male Swordtails and just Mollies in general, they can be a little bit assertive in a fish tank. And usually people are trying to keep Mollies and Swordtails in tanks that, quite frankly, might be a little bit on the smaller side. So if they're trying to put them in a 10 or a 20, and you're trying to put that betta in there, that can lead to some serious problems. Usually the Mollies and the Swordtails are going to win that battle because they're faster, they're stronger, they're more agile, and just they're pretty aggressive sometimes. So that is one. Those are two fish. I would be very careful with those because you could wind up with some issues. What else?
Barbs.
Oh, yeah, I think that's just generally speaking, when you have barbs, you really try to stay away from long finned fish. Anything from tiger barbs. We've got the Rombo barbs, which I probably would never try to put those in a betta tank. Even the cherry barbs, I'm sure people have done it. I just stay away from anything that's a barb. I'm trying not to mix those with bettas because they do have a reputation for being a little bit picky.
Even the name just doesn't seem like it would go with a betta. Barbs.
So just because of the name, don't do it.
Just don't do it. And then angelfish.
Yeah, that's a big one that people ask us a lot about.
Is,
hey, can I keep angelfish with bettas? Angelfish are a cichlid, and they can be somewhat aggressive, and you get a slow moving betta and you get an angelfish that is deciding it's going to run the tank, and sometimes that combination doesn't work. The angelfish almost, especially as it grows, is going to win that battle, and so you'll wind up having to separate them. Not always. Maybe you've experienced something different, but it's a combination where you're definitely taking your chances. And speaking of angelfish being cichlids, you're taking your chance anytime you put a betta with just about any cichlid. That being said, I did do it. I kept a betta with a large group of pelvic acromis subocellatus. Think of like a cribensis.
Yeah.
So that combination for some reason worked, but for the most part, your ram. So a lot of people try to keep them with rams and pistos. Now, could you do that in a really super large tank where the likelihood that they're going to come into contact with one another is pretty slim? Maybe, but we're talking about tank sizes that are usually what people are usually using for bettas. So you've got your 10 gallons and your 20s, maybe a 29. Cichlids and bettas, again, you're taking a chance. Understand that you might have to have a backup plan. Cichlids will 99.999% of the time win that battle if they decide that they want to run the tank and they feel the betta is encroaching on their territory. So those were some fish to be careful of when you're thinking about your betta and what kinds of fish can I keep with my betta. Again, check out the video. We got two videos down in the description below. One is some good tank mates, and the other is a full-on comprehensive how to care for your betta video. So check those out if you want more information. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you the next time.
Bye.